It's another episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast powered by No. It is your host, Sarah Benkin-Fashi, and I am so excited to introduce you to today, Jacquie Susie. She is the Vice President of Merchandising for Express, y'all. I am so excited about this episode and cannot wait for you to hear all the things. We're talking about styling, design, reimagining, brand reinvention, and how she and her team are leading the front on everything that you're seeing in Express stores right now. And let me tell you, if you haven't been to a store recently, get your booty there because their designs are fire. I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome to the High Achieving Female Podcast powered by No, where we believe high achieving female leaders deserve to be known. Here, you're going to get the tips, tools, and inspiration you need to network, grow, scale, and balance your business, career, and life. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to have Jacquie Susie here today. This is going to be a really exciting chat. She is with one of my top favorite fashion brands. Jacquie is the Vice President of Merchandising on the women's side for Express, y'all. I mean, Express. Jacquie, welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
We have so much to unpack and discuss today. First of all, I have to tell you that, and I have been telling you and the world that I am so obsessed with Express right now, like so obsessed, and have been probably for like the last 2 years. That's why I'm so excited about our conversation because we have so much to go over. But man, Express is killing it right now.
Awesome. I agree. I'm biased, but I do agree. I am a customer and an employee, but I couldn't agree more.
And I have to, so I want our listeners to learn a little bit more about you, Vice President of Merchandising on the women's side. I want them to learn a little bit more about the brand. We're calling it like a brand reinvention or like sort of like a little bit of a comeback. I have had a lot of conversations with people because I just love this brand so much. And I'm so excited that we were introduced by a mutual friend. But when I look at Express, I see this like bold, daring, bright, colorful brand. And I think you said it best in our pre-call, or pre-recording was that like, it is a brand for every single woman. And this is what I love. And I was shopping at Express. Oh my gosh, in the 2000s when I had my first job, and then now I'm shopping at Express and loving it even more now. So let's talk a little bit about you and your role at Express. What do you do at Express right now?
Oh my gosh, I do a lot of things, but first and foremost, I'm a part of a greater team of experts and enthusiasts. And honestly, much like our customer, they're just expressive individuals that love to hustle. No day is the same, but when you get down to brass tacks, I am responsible for executing our brand strategy and bringing our concept to life for the customer, which is what you see every time you walk into the store.
I love it. So you said about 29 people on your team. So 30 of you are basically looking at ideation, concept creation, working with the style community, building out the trends and all of the things that we as the customer are purchasing in your stores on the women's side every day.
That's right. I always equate it to everybody, or most people at least, have seen Devil Wears Prada.
Yep.
And that scene where she's just like, what's the big deal? It's blue. And then, Meryl Streep just goes into it. She's just like, it's not just blue, it's cerulean. And it's like,
yes,
goes in this whole thing. It's funny because a customer walks in and they make a choice and they don't even begin to understand, nor do they even think about what actually went into making that choice. Whether it be the color, the stitch, the fit, the shape, whether it was going to go to stores or it was going to go online, whether it made the cut or not, the button placement, the label that goes in it. It is everything. So a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of meetings, a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of discussion, and a lot of love at the end of the day that it made the cut.
Man, okay. So I was just talking to you offline about this orange blazer. The orange blazer
You
that
look so good.
oh my gosh. I'm gonna put this a photo of me in the orange blazer when this episode releases so everyone can see the orange blazer that I'm talking about. I have received so many compliments on this orange blazer. I wore it at Summit. So I wore all express at Summit at our Summit 2023 that we just recently had in May. I was also at a conference last week and I brought back the orange blazer. I cannot get enough of the orange blazer. But here's the thing, like you said, it's not just like a blue, it's not just an orange blazer. The color, the tone, the style, the fit, the everything that had people like rubbing on me like multiple times saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so good." And there was a lot of orange. I think orange is like like a pop color right now, but there's not that orange. So talk to us a little bit about like how do you arrive at like that orange or that white? Because there's so many various tones and shades of all of it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, orange specifically, it's a trend, right? I mean, we're known for trend. We are leaders of trend. We are leaders for fashion. And right now, we are in a color moment. So it is about bold
Mm.
color. It's about bright color. It's about print, pattern, you name it. But I just want to go back to what everything you were describing. You have to give credit to the person wearing the blazer, though. That's why we do what we do. Express is here to create confidence and inspire self expression, right? You were probably looking fierce in that blazer. You know why? Because you put it on and you felt good and you
Felt
stood
good.
taller and you smiled a little more and you were feeling yourself, right? And I did see your head to toe, and you have to post this now, but you wore it back to pink pants. That's how you styled your way. Somebody else might wear it, with a white tee and a pair of jeans. That's what's so incredible is that, it really is made to express you. We are not telling you exactly what to do with it. We are here to lead and guide you and, help you find product that you love and that you want to wear.
I'm so glad you said this because you're absolutely right. And I actually get a lot of inspiration from your online social community because what you will do, not just on your Instagram, but like what you're reposting from the other women who are the ambassadors of Express, is they're actually wearing the clothes and styling them all very different, right? So you
Yep.
could see the orange blazer or whatever it is, and you can see it styled 4 or 5 different ways. And that's something that I think your brand Express is doing and really helping us, the busy, high performing women who are, look, I just need a solid outfit and I need to walk into a store and find something that's going to look great, that's going to feel great, that's going to, be magnetic. And I want to know how to style it and how many different ways, right? And so a lot of times what I will do before I even walk into an Express, and I will say I have about 98, 99% success rate walking into the store. And I'm not just, I'm serious. I'm so serious about this. And I'm really passionate about what you all are creating there. But a lot of times before I even walk into the store, I am already on social media looking at what everyone else has how they've put it together. And I'm like pre-planning in advance of going into the store, which is
Yeah.
so funny, but probably so true for so many others. I love that you have really brought in community. And I love that you also said that your customers are really the people that you're serving and they're the people that are the most important, right?
No, 100%. I mean, it's so funny. We did a lot of work around community and such a successful, endeavor, if you will. We started with a style editor program. If you remember, some of you guys might remember back in 2021, we started with Rachel Zoe, which is such a powerhouse of a name. But talk about somebody that has, a discretionary fund that is beyond, my belief. She loves Express. She grew up at Express. She loves shopping our outlets. She was talking about her mom that loved to shop at Express, which is so exciting because, I think what's really great about Express is we are authentically who we are, and we want you to be authentically who, you want to be. And when you talk about our, brand ambassadors, these are people, our best customers that want to represent our brand. So it's like you're already wearing our clothes. Would you also like to make commission around it too? And these are people that have a huge social following.
Mhm.
We always say it's a dialogue, not a monologue. And when you think about that, how many times do you go out with your girlfriends or in a social setting and, you just described it at Summit? Oh my gosh, where did you get that? It's this word of mouth, right? And it's a natural, authentic connection that you're making. When you are scrolling on Instagram, or I mean, I work in fashion and sometimes I'll Google, I don't know, denim dressing, or you might Google bold orange blazer, how to wear.
Yep.
You're constantly getting inspired and getting inspiration from other people. And I think that's what's so exciting about fashion and about clothes. It's just like you get to push the boundaries and you get to test the limits of your own style, which is awesome.
So when we met for the first time, I was wearing an orange dress and I ultimately ended up buying this orange blazer. And let me tell you why this orange is such a critical move for me because I never liked orange. I could never wear orange. I did not fit orange. None of it, right? So like orange was not for me. However, Express has taught me that I can wear orange and many other colors. And I've traditionally been like black, white, gray, like that's me, right?
Yeah.
And so what I love about what's happening now, Express is like not fast fashion, but it's also not at a high price point where it's unapproachable by everybody. Like you could walk into a store at Express and find something in any budget in any range. And also one thing that we were talking about too is like even if you can buy luxury premium, I'm still choosing to go into Express. And that is actually the first place I'm going when I need a guaranteed outfit. Why do you think that is? Why are people choosing Express regardless of like where they stand on like a financial demographic side?
So I think that we have a unique position in the market in that we offer a buildable wardrobe. So literally our promise to our customer as a brand is to edit the best of now for real life versatility. So yes, you're absolutely right. We are not fast fashion. We are not throwaway fashion. We are known for our quality. We are known for our fit. We are known for our consistency. We are known for our trend. You said value. You talk about value could mean a few different things. Value could be quality. It could be, wearability. It could be how many times I get to wear this item. Value could also equate to price. It could be, you know what? It is totally approachable and totally affordable, and it fits my wallet. It fits my budget. And even, if I do have a higher spend, I'm still choosing Express because I trust them, right? So, it's really about, it's not just so much about like, what's in, but it's about building that versatile, flexible wardrobe that covers all of your needs. Like one of our style codes is the occasion is now. Historically, occasion, what you would have thought, occasion, you would think like black tie, like formal event. Occasion to some might be I work from home and you know what? Damn it, I'm putting on a great pair of heels,
Yep.
jeans that fit, a bold lip, and some great earrings, and I'm going to go like own this day. That might be her occasion. So we're not here to define what that looks like for you. We're here to help you, have confidence in building that wardrobe. And it's interesting because you didn't ask this, but I'm just going to reflect, really quickly. Is there's really that notion of a capsule wardrobe, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that Express is really good at that. And when I think of, my own style, my brand, my DNA, it really is around that idea of a capsule wardrobe. And when I say capsule, I mean, you have your core, your staple, your formula, if you will, and then you have statements, right? So it's a balance of statements and staples. And I think that that's what a lot of people are responding to is that, you know what, I need to be more thoughtful about my purchases. I need to figure out like value could, inherently mean how many different ways do I get to wear this? And
Yep.
because we have such a wide range of offer, we're able to play into that versatility. We're able to play into that capsule wardrobe. One person's statements might be another person's staples. I mean, I love leopard, I love leather, I love fur. That might be a statement for somebody. That's just who I am. I actually knock people out of their chairs when I go into work and I have like a white button up. They're like, oh, it was like something like serious. Like, what are we doing today? Like, who is she today? But that might be somebody else's like Monday through Friday attire. So
Right.
we're not here to define it for you. We're just here to help you feel great and, look your best. And hopefully you find some product that you love.
I really, I have to say, and because we're talking to you, like VP of merchandising on the women's side, like I have to say that I just appreciate you. And I appreciate you because I have a 15-year-old daughter who is all in all of the trends, right? And this isn't in anymore. This is in, this is more popular, et cetera, et cetera. And as a progressive mother of a teenager or someone who cares about the style and the trends that, in fashion that's happening now, I will say that you have curated a style that is both appropriate for women like me, adult women. My daughter also shops there. But you have created a style that is appropriate for me that's still very much on trend. And that these little teens, the teens at the high school are like, wow, she is very stylish, right? So I think that there's also been this balance when I'm looking at Express as a brand. It is very fashion forward, and there are you have your skinny jeans still, right? And you have your jeans, you have your boot cuts, you have all the various cuts, and it's almost like you haven't forgotten anything. So for the one who loves a mom jean or a little bit of a wider bootleg ankle cut, right? Like or whatever it is, right? I'm just thinking about these pair of jeans that I have been trying on because they're very like on trend right now. And there's other stores where my daughter would shop that's a little bit more teen appropriate, right? And I cannot fit in them. They don't fit my body. I am a mother. I have hips. I have curves. And when I go to Express, I was like, oh my God, they're here, right? Like, wow. Wow. That's why I have the utmost appreciation for that, because you have really thought about what's hot right now. You have your classics and really all of the choices, but then they also just fit really good.
Yep. It's so good to hear. It's funny because I'm at an advantage because my daughter is 8 years old. So my hope is that no, I don't dress like her yet. But there is that stigma, right? It's like, I don't know if I can wear that. My daughter shops there. I don't want to look like my daughter. I don't want to look like I still got it. I mean, I hate that stuff. I mean, just getting older is it's a wild ride, right? And especially, I've recently turned 40. Everybody goes through the change curve differently. You can only feel how you feel and only you know that. But I'm just like, you know what? Forget these stigmas. Like, you should look good and feel good. And what's great, I love what you just said about that too. We have such a wide assortment, right? We have such a wide, and we are such an advantage. We are a dual gender brand. We are not dressy. We are not casual. We are everything, right? Everyone can find something that fits their style.
Yep.
If you want to wear skinny jeans, guess what? We have them. If you want to wear a statement top or, an abbreviated cropped tube, we have that too. I mean, you want to look great. I always say like beach to bar, but you know what? In the spirit of this podcast, I'm going to say beach to boardroom.
Yeah.
We also have that, impeccably tailored head to toe suit for you where you put it on, you feel like $1,000,000, you look like $1,000,000, and you are ready to take over the world. So, I love that you said that because, I think that it could be your day to day style, but it also could just be like how you're feeling that day, right? We have something for everybody, which is great. But what I would say is, while we have something for everybody, we are not trying to be something for everybody.
Right.
We are still true to our brand DNA. We know who we are. We know what our customer, relies on us for. And we certainly know how she feels when she wears our product. So capitalizing on that.
That's a really great point. So when I am approaching someone, so my age range tends to be like somewhere between like the 30 and 55-year-old. Like that's my modern day businesswoman, ambitious businesswoman between like 30 and 55. And a lot of our conversations around Express, because I bring this up a lot, especially when people compliment me and I say, okay, I got this at Express. It always brings up this conversation as to, oh my gosh, Express is killing it, or really, right? And it's because we all shopped at Express before in our
Yep.
early days, right? And then there was this
Yep.
period where we just, I don't know where we went. We went somewhere else. And then now it's like, okay, we're back. But not only are we back, it's like we had this built-in like loyalty to the brand, and we wanted to see it resurrect because so many other brands have not been able to do that. And we were talking about this, and you said like about 4 years ago, which I can actually pretty much time this out. About 4 years ago, there was like a major corporate shakeup, and it led to this rebrand, this reinvention of what Express is. And can you talk a little bit about like during that time, sort of like the purpose and the reimagining of like who you are and all, because I think this is so critical for all brands out there, all businesses out
100%.
there.
I personally love this topic because this brand, I grew up with this brand. So it's so personal to me. And even if I didn't work here, I would always be, rooting for Express and, wanting Express to do well. Again, it's so personal, but, we really took a look at ourselves and we said, why Express? Who are we? Right. And it was about reestablishing our purpose, our promise, our values, but more importantly, we were building a brand that is going to go from, what you were just describing, right? Which was a store in a mall, right? Now we are a brand with a purpose that's powered by a styling community.
Yep.
All to say, we all have a seat at the table. Customers, we are listening. Community, we are listening. Our associates, our internal employees, we are listening. And you know what? We got back to like who we were. We got back to what we were great at and what we were known for. Things like you were just describing, bold color. We're known for color. You know that you can get the color of the season from us. We are known for, nobody does prints like us. Don't get me started on our fit and fabrics. It is like literally the best out there. Okay. The consistency, the quality, you can rely on us for trend. Black is literally the definition of modern, right? Our logo is
so
black.
good.
It is the base of everybody's wardrobe. It is easy to match. I mean, look at me. I'm literally like in black. It's just so easy, right? It was going back to what are we known for? Date night tops. I would go every Friday to the mall to Express because I knew I was going to get what I was wearing that weekend. I knew, like you just said, you have a 95%, success rate when you walk into Express. So, for those of us tracking, we did feel like we may have like lost our way, like what happened there. But for some that maybe left us during that time, they still view us as potentially a party brand, right? Not for me, like short, tight, and shiny. Well, that's not the case. We are back to, I don't want to say basics. We're back to our brand DNA. We are back to the reason why we are still around for 40 years, right? We are back to everything, the why you shopped here in the first place. We're still here for you. We never left you.
Well, back to it, but like turned up the notch, the dial. Like it is so good. I'm glad you said that. I wasn't going to say that party dresses, but someone did did mention this to me last week when I was talking about Express. And she said something kind of happened. Like it became like a short dress and it did. And she goes, but listen, like I'm going to give it another try. I'm recruiting customers everywhere I go for you all because I like have a lot of passion for it, but also I've seen the success. And I told you, I said the one thing that brought me back that like stamped it for me was the Rachel Zoe collaboration. When I saw Rachel Zoe was part of Express, and there's other stores that have tried some of these collaborations, right? But when I saw Rachel Zoe, the epitome of style, the epitome of like eloquent beauty, just perfection in fashion, right? When I saw that and I tried the white suit that I wore at Summit last year on, that was it. It had me. I was like, I had already been going, but like that was the defining moment for me of I will now always shop there first. And so I just have to say what you all are doing is so good. And if you are listening to this and you haven't walked into an Express in a while, I feel like I'm a walking, talking billboard for them now. But because I just love the brand and the story and the comeback of this. Let's get to Jacquie a little bit though. So Let's talk a little bit about
Oh, dear.
Jacquie Susie. Okay, enough about this Express thing. I'm going to come back to trends in a little bit, but let's
Yeah.
talk about who you are. So, I mean, you didn't just like wake up and become the vice president of merchandising for Express. You have worked at a lot of fashion brands and a lot of
Mhm.
different types of fashion brands. You mentioned that you had worked at Urban Outfitters, Eddie Bauer, even Lane Bryant. Have you always loved fashion? Is this been your passion? Like, how did you get into the scene?
Yeah, I've always loved fashion just from a very young age. My sister's 8 years older than me, so I used to wait for her to go to school and steal clothes out of her closet because she was able to babysit. She had, disposable income that I did not have. And I always found myself, and I swear I'm not saying it because I work for this brand, but I always found myself wanting to wear Express and I couldn't fit into it yet. So, my gateway was like accessories, right? My mom would buy me
Okay.
accessories. And then it, developed into me stealing out of her closet. And it was funny because, I've always been an achiever. I've always been a high performer. I've always wanted to, make others feel good and like leave an impact. I actually thought I've always wanted to run my own business. I'm super competitive. I play basketball. I mean, do you remember the Avon catalog?
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, I used to collect them from
I
my family
love the
members
Avon
and
catalog.
I'd spread it across my dining room table and I'd get out like a fake calculator and like pretend that I was running a business. So I actually thought I was going to go into international business slash law because I knew I wanted to run my own business. I knew I wanted to travel. I had no idea that you could monetize your passion. Okay. This is like before the days of influencers and, entrepreneurs and, all that jazz. So I didn't actually fall into this as an area of focus, if you will, until like my second year of college. So I ended up double majoring in fashion merchandising and business. Um, I studied abroad internationally. That's actually how I met my husband, Jeff Susie. Met him in London. It was fabulous. So
Wow.
yeah, that's a whole other podcast for you. I knew I wanted to do an internship in New York. I hustled buns. I worked 3 jobs. I went to school year round. I graduated early, 2 degrees in 3 years. So like all to
Wow.
say, I knew what I wanted to do, but I work at a fast pace. I am a multitasker. Like when you really reflect back and get down to it, I love to be a part of change. I now love to be a part of enterprise change. I love to make a difference and, I'm a people person. I love to impact others. And I love to learn. I love to stay curious. I love to stay sharp. So I never knew I was going to go into fashion because I guess by default, I didn't know that you could monetize something you were so
Right.
passionate about. But
Right.
by God, I'm so glad I fell into it because I could not imagine doing anything else. It's
Were
just in my
you
bones.
did you work retail? Like were you in on the retail, like the
Oh,
store
yeah.
side
Oh,
first?
yeah. So I used to, when I went to the mall with my sister, I literally, every time I went to Express, I would fill out an application. And they're like, it got to the point where like they knew me by name at this certain location. And they're like, Jacquie, you know that you can't work until you're 17. I'm like, I know, but just like for consideration. And it's funny because I mean, in my fifth grade yearbook, this is like so crazy. When they do those questionnaires, hey, what do you want to do when you get older? I literally put in my fifth grade yearbook, I want to work at Express. Now, at
Wow.
the time, I was thinking, I'm going to go work in the store, right? Because like that's where
Yeah.
my sister gets
Yeah.
all the clothes, and like, oh my god, I can't wait to fit into it. I'm going to work there so I can get a discount. And then, I mean, I could have never. I'm one of the lucky ones that I could have never dreamt getting to the place that I am now. Thinking, that far back and where I was at that point. It's really, I'm very grateful every single day.
I love that. So, did you ever get that job at Express in the store?
It's funny because in college, I reminded our old CEO of this. I actually applied for an internship at Express and I was not chosen. So this is kind of like
Oh.
my comeback story. So this is my mic drop moment. And it's funny, we joke about it now, but no, I actually started in stores. Out of college, I was a store manager at one of our visual locations, and then eventually got promoted to our flagship here in Columbus, Ohio. And I would not trade it in for anything. It is so great. I love being around the people, the customers. You learn so much. And, you think about from concept to execution, what I was describing earlier. you get to see the fruits of that labor. So when I am, helping in the creative process or the execution process, I've seen real life. I've lived real life. So I can make more informed decisions because of that.
This is so cool. And actually it's like, it's so perfect for you because you are the customer. You are the person in the store. You know every facet, every layer of this concept to execution. That's great. I cannot wait to see where you go from here. You worked on the men's side before, correct?
Yeah.
Talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that.
Yeah. So when after I got out of stores, I ended up going into a corporate merchandising capacity for limited stores at the time. Bounced around a little bit, but ultimately, when I came back to Express at corporate, I worked on the men's side, which was great because I like to stay curious. I like to flex different muscles, and I'm not a man, so it was interesting to be able to take myself out of it because your job can become emotional. And that really was a pivotal point for me because it taught me to take myself out of the equation and
Mm.
make the best decision for, the customer and to stay curious and meet them, where they are at that point. And our men's brand is just incredible. It hurts my heart when people don't know that men's, it's interesting because you were just describing consideration for women, right? Like, oh,
Right.
really Express? Men, it's more of an awareness. It's more of a, oh, I didn't know that they had, and then they'll say, oh, you mean structure? I'm like, no, I mean Express Men. And I think I told you this at the beginning.
Oh my God, you just said structure? I forgot all
Oh,
about
can you
structure.
even? Oh my God, I know. And listen, I was there too, worked there too. But it's funny because we'll be in a social situation and people will come up to my husband, just like chicks do, right? Like, oh my God, like, where did you get that? Or where'd you hire your husband? I'm like, Express. And they're like, they have men's product. And then he's like, oh my God, did you have to? Because they know that I'm going to be talking for like another 30 minutes. I mean, I can't even. Like, of course we have Express for men. The
I
best quality you will ever find out there, the best trend. You cannot, nobody has a fire to us.
The
Nobody.
only suggestion I have for Express Men is that you expand your sizes because my 6'5" husband
Yeah.
cannot fit into it. And it would be really, really nice if I could walk into Express Men and buy him something because the styles are so great. So just something for you to think about or to take to the team later for me,
No,
Um,
totally. You can look online for extended sizes, and we have really great. I'm not sure how his lower half is built, but we have athletic denim. So if you want like the skinny
Ooh.
look, but you have like a bigger thigh. So
That's good to know. That's good to know. How has all of your experience through all of these brands really helped play a part in the decisions that you're making today? Like, where do you get your inspiration from trends or, right? Because you don't want to be like too trendy that it's just not, it doesn't fit,
no,
right? Like, what
no.
have you seen in your experience that has really helped lend a hand with some of the decisions you're making for your present role today?
Well, I think it's a couple different things. So, there's one, the aesthetic trend, right? Being of the now, not just, looking up, but also looking around, what are the competitors doing? Where else is your customer shopping? So there's the trend in terms of what are you inspired by in terms of like the concept and, the ideas that you're going to deliver. But it's also really knowing your customer and again going back to knowing who you are as a brand. So the fact that we have a very clear product strategy and a clear purpose and promise and north star, if you will, to follow, and really spending time with our customer and our styling community, it allows that focus to be narrowed so that we're not trying to go too broad and that we really can hone in what our customer is telling us.
I think this is great because this really applies to any business owner or anyone who is growing, right? Growing a business in the business arena at all, right? So learning your purpose, learning your why, honing into it. What I'm hearing is you, an executive, tell us that it's helpful when leadership is authentic and
That's right.
they are aware of who they are and why they're doing what they're doing and the purpose behind it, because it makes your job and everyone on that team, on all the teams, perform easier, better. It makes the decisions quicker, etc.
That's right. I would also say, just to kind of piggyback on that, our leadership team is so exceptional. So leadership skills, they obviously can evolve over time. But I have been with a company for a long time. I have grown up in this landscape, if you will, and I have never felt more empowered and more trusted. And it's funny because I always say this in my own coaching: leadership has nothing to do with rank. It is about taking care of those around you, right? And I feel taken care of, and I feel it's my responsibility to take care of those around me as well. But with leadership, I mean, it comes with a lot of practice, comes with a lot of experience, education, and many times vulnerability. So being vulnerable, being able to have a tough conversation, being able to be courageous versus comfortable, right? And I just find that my own style, but also that I'm empowered to show is, I think that being clear and direct is effective. I think that being approachable and empathetic is impactful, and that's actually what I find myself relying on the most in terms of who I am and what my attributes and my strengths are. Is leading with empathy, because honestly, Sarah, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We are all trying to do our best. We are all striving to make an impact, to achieve a purpose. And, I really take that to heart, because at the end of the day, I need to lead by example. I am a female leader. I am looked up to. I am respected. People, are aspiring, to be in my position someday. So I really strive to set the example that I want to set. In my personal life, I'm a mother. Okay. Like I have a duty and I have a responsibility to not just lead at work, but also in the home. So again, it just goes back to taking care of those around you. And, we have such a powerful leadership team, such a strong leadership team, at our brand, that empowers us to do so every single day. And being yourself, finding your own style. Authenticity is literally like what Express is known for, not just to the customer, but also from a culture standpoint. So that, that's my why. It ladders to my values as well as an individual.
So great. I'm so glad that you said that those are so important for, this podcast clearly is for the high achieving woman, right? The high achieving female. But I think this is so, everything you just said is so right on when it comes to her brand, her company, her professional life, her personal life. You are a mom. You have young ones.
I do.
Talk to us about being a mom and how I'm not going to say balance, because we know that that's not a thing. Talk to us about how you're on the road a lot. You have a very hectic, busy schedule. Talk to us about how you're managing home and life.
So I love that you didn't use the word balance, because there isn't any. I don't know if you've heard, the glass ball versus rubber ball moment. Shonda Rhimes, I love her commencement speech that she gave years ago about, raising 3 daughters and being a single mom. And, there is no balance. And I remember I had taken a few years off to be with my family, again, doing what's required.
Yep.
And when I was going back and considering to go back to the corporate environment, I'll never forget one of my friends, not only was in the industry, but also knows me so well as an individual. And she said, Jackie, you will always be failing. And I know you don't fail, but you need to know this about yourself. You will always be failing as a human, as an individual. Okay. Because when you're crushing it at work, you will be failing at home. And when you are failing at home, you will be crushing it at work. So, I will tell you, I was not willing to accept that advice to start. But what I did learn is, yes, that's just who I am. With a little bit of trial and error. Yeah, right. With a little bit of trial and error, I did find a way to, do better, if you will. And, I think that everybody, and especially us females, I think that we are capable of everything and doing everything great. We just need to recognize you cannot do it all great at once.
That's
Something's going to have to give. But behind me as an individual, I have a really great support system. I have a supportive husband. He is very involved in the home, and we work really well together. Our friends actually refer to us as Team Susie, and I truly believe in that as a team mentality. I used to take everything. I used to think that I was going to let somebody down. And it's so funny because I kind of equate it to the whole, the airplane analogy, apply your mask first. And it's funny because I found myself trying to take on everything. And then with that becomes resentment. You're either
Yep.
resenting yourself, you're resenting others, you're resenting the fact that like you have to do stuff. I used to feel bad if I was just going to go to the store by myself, or my goodness, like take a walk, go get a facial, do whatever like you chose. I felt like, but I could be doing something else. You have to make time for yourself. And that's what I do every single day. It could be in the form of a workout. It could be getting up early and just literally sitting in my house in the dark quietly before I hear the footsteps coming down in the morning. Because if you don't do something for yourself, like if I'm not good, I can't give my best to you. I got to be right with me. And then I can give myself to others because, I'm taking care of a home, but I'm responsible for a team when I get to work too. I'm responsible for, and I want to do this. I want to be the leader for those, working moms, first time parents. I have a lot of merchants on my team right now that they're first time moms and they're going to have to figure out the work life balance. And I want to set that example. And, I want to set, I want to give them that idea and I want to give them that encouragement that you can have it all. You absolutely can have it all, but you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be honest with others and you have to accept the help. And that's hard. And the worst is when you have to ask for the help. Oh my God, is it the worst when you have to ask for help? But you know what? Be humble because this is like one team, one dream. It is not just one person that's doing all this.
Oh my goodness. I cannot get enough of you. Like I seriously cannot get enough of you. From the moment I met you, I've just been obsessed with everything Jacquie Susie, and you are a Wonder Woman and a superhero. And I hope that you know that. I know that you said it best, right? You're always going to be failing. And I am very much the same. Like, tell me I'm going to fail. Yeah, right. Move out of the way to like my own demise. So
I just want to do it even more. I just want to do it even more. Like,
I know
nothing.
I will master it. And so I have to say, like, just spending this time with you has been so incredible. I think you are an incredible mother, an incredible businesswoman, and just an incredible role model. I can only imagine the greatness that you are doing inside of Express as a VP. And I cannot wait to see like where you end up going at the end of the day, because you are definitely a boss. Like you're a boss. And I think it's so, so cool. And I love that you are like one of, because I won't say but you are one of the women who is seriously so responsible for taking Express to the next level, for making people like me come back and be raving fans. And, and you just look so great doing it. You're really crushing it, my friend. So I hope that you know that. And you are an inspiration to just so many. And I will tell you what, this is the very beginning, because I know we could not make it happen at this summit, but I'm dead serious. You will, and we will figure out how to make this happen, but you will be at Summit 2024 sitting on stage with me, because we have a lot to talk about for women, for business women, for aspiring business women, on trend, everything. Like there's just so much. This is just the beginning. But I have to say, thank you so much for your time today. This is great. I love it. I love it. I love you. I love Express. I know.
I appreciate everything. Honestly, this was such an honor. I was so excited. I know I sent you a note, but I don't know why I was nervous, because I was more nervous about the time, and I'm finding myself doing it now. So I will cut it short, but I just appreciate everything that you're doing. And I think that there needs to be more of this. I think that, seeing women support and root for other women is just incredible. Right. And we are passionate and we are relentless individuals. And so the fact that you have found a way to bring us all together, we can be so powerful and effective together. So I just really appreciate, what you're doing, and I will take you up on that. We are not done yet, sister.
We're not done. We are just starting this. So we are seriously just starting this relationship between No and Express, and it's going to be so magical. Like style is just one part of it, right? Like just the shopping and the styling piece is going to be one
100%.
part. There's so much more that's going to happen. And I cannot wait. So thank you so much for your time today. And everyone go buy some Express clothes because they're fire right now. Amazing.
I
It's all good.
appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacquie. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the High Achieving Female Podcast, powered by No, where we believe it's time for high achieving women like you to be seen, heard, and recognized. Until next time, remember, you deserve to be known.